an argument with somebody, one of my friends, and we were talking about.
I hit the wrong button, bro.
Don't press it then.
Does it matter how many characters a game like launches with?
Yes and no.
All right, I'll say I'll play. I feel like
Okay, what is your view, and then I'll answer.
my view is that like it doesn't matter, and it's like okay for people like Shadow and maybe Ghost Titan 2, like you might only play one or two characters in the game, so like if your character's not in the game, it can have 1,000 characters. It wouldn't matter. So I think it's more like there needs to be a good variety, but it doesn't have to be like Smash Brothers size. You know what I'm saying?
You kicked me in the dick. You kicked me in the dick.
That's his
You're
response.
a fucking robot. Shut up.
You kicked me in the dick. I'm
You still got balls.
So in my opinion, you know, like the 2XKO is launching with how many? 6 characters? 8 characters?
10.
10 characters,
So
right?
Smash Brothers, Smash Brothers had how many characters when they first released?
Like 60, I think. I want to say something like that.
Okay, what was their numbers compared to any other game that came out with
Like the biggest. I mean, Tekken usually has a really big cast, but as far as a launch game, I would say probably Street Fighter. I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 launched with like 64 characters. I want to say, and I think without and without DLC,
bro. I should have got hit by that.
Without DLC, I want to say Smash Brothers. Once you unlocked everybody, it was like a good 60 to 100 characters. I think Smash Brothers has like.
What game are you talking about?
You're talking about people like how many characters did Smash launch with after you unlocked everybody?
50, I think.
It was like 50.
So I think Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had like 60 some, I want to say. Like 63 characters, 64 characters, something like that.
Are you saying 3?
No, I'm MVC 2 with the big globe.
I forget.
I want to say that let me see. Let's ask Gemini real quick for the exacting.
They need to scale the damage on that.
How many characters did Marvel vs. Capcom 2 launch with after you unlocked everybody?
It is much more harder raw instead of that.
It is not scaled, bro.
So it launched with 24, and you unlocked 32. So 24 plus 32, somebody.
Say it again.
24 plus 32.
Here's my dilemma when it comes to
56.
that factor. If you're saying Smash, right?
Well,
everybody's character in that game uses the same input, so the game is not that hard to create all those characters. Versus a Tekken game, which has is like 36 or 40 something odd characters, but they take forever to actually come out. If you haven't noticed.
Yeah, so
because each one has their own move list and everything.
So Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which had all the characters on the disc, had 56 playable characters. I think, like I said, Smash had like 50 some too. But if your character's not there, it doesn't matter how many characters is there. I say it doesn't matter how many characters a game launches with, whether it be 10, 24, 32. I mean, now if you can find multiple characters, like if a game launches with 10 characters and you like 5 of the 10, I think that's a win.
I messed up.
Anybody jump in?
Here's my thing. 2XKO is coming out with 10 characters, yeah?
Yeah.
And back in the day, Mortal Kombat 1 came out with 7. Ain't nobody bitch about that.
Yeah, but when you agree that like it really matters if your character's there, basically.
No, not even. If the characters seem fit or just seem cool enough, you got yourself
we will literally pick them up.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. My character did not show up in Mortal Kombat 11.
You kicked me in the dick again.
But there were still enough characters that you found. I guess you got to find a character cool enough to play, I guess.
Yes.
But if you don't like any of the characters, it could be a billion characters and you just wouldn't want to play the game.
Nah, bullshit. I'll find what character. The only game that I didn't like any of the characters was MKX.
Really?
Oh, shit.
I'm dead serious. I did not like playing as Jason. I did not like playing as Jason, bro.
Bullshit.
What about Takeda? No? Kung Jin?
I never picked Takeda. And no, I did not like Kung Jin.
One of the best Liu Kangs ever.
Okay, that doesn't mean I like
Damn.
playing as a Liu Kang.
Shit. That's crazy that you did not like any character in the game.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I deadass did not.
Who did you play when you did?
did?
Who did you play when you played?
Forward 4-2. Forward 4-2.
I said, who did you play when you played?
I started as Kung Lao, and then I swapped to Johnny Cage, and then I got into a character crisis. Then I started playing Jason because he was the only character that was boring.
What I was literally saying, Red K, was the move that Danny would do every single time in the corner. Forward 4-2. Forward 4-2.
It worked, didn't it?
That's the game where we first met.
Yeah, 4-4-2.
Yeah, Ronin Takeda was my joint. That was my jam. Mike Jones. How do you feel about a character launching with a low number of games versus a high number of characters?
I would like to have a variety. Well, you know, if it's a game that you first like, if it's a game that you already played and you already got your own certain characters, I understand. Like having a lot really don't matter. But if it's a new game that you're trying out, I guess I say it's nice to have, you know, a little variety. But 60 is a little too much.
How many characters did Tekken 7 end with?
Over 30.
40.
Over 30. Yeah, over 30. Went 40 maybe.
Let me ask Gemini real quick. What's the biggest roster of any Tekken game?
Tekken 7.
7 was probably that. No, wasn't it tag?
Actually, you what's crazy?
It might have been
All the
tag.
DLC, all the
Any
DLC in
Tekken
that game
game.
was free.
Yeah, it was. That's why I was like, yo, when I started seeing all this DLC, I'm like, why we got to pay for this?
Hold on, I
We've
missed
been
it.
doing it for years.
I missed it. What happened?
Tekken Tag 2 was all the DLC was free,
Tekken Tag 2 had 59 playable characters. That's crazy.
and it was free, all of them.
free.
Really?
Yep. No.
Was
season
it
pass.
on the disc or did it have downloadable stuff then?
It was an update, and all the new characters came in.
So Tekken 7 had 51 playable characters. Tekken 6 had 45, had 32, and Tekken 3 had 21. Of course. That's a. So do you think we're gonna get? We'll be in the 50s by the time Tekken 8 ends. You think?
No, I'm gonna say in the 40s.
Do you think Tekken 7, like Tekken 8, won't last as long as Tekken 7 did? Maybe.
Bullshit. It's gonna last just amount. Like just because the
Or
game
longer.
is like busted right now, you act like nobody's gonna play the game in general. It's just like the casuals and the pros literally agree with something for once in their life.
You know, I think I agree with Echo. Once you get into like the 50s, like just make a new game, right? I mean, unless it's a mod.
Unless they're just trying to like have everybody like, you know, reunite, like whatever, just so they could play together like on Smash. But
I
like,
still think that a bajillion characters is not.
I
gonna,
really don't think.
It's
Yeah,
not going to
like, if I
intrigue
jump
a
on
whole
Smash
bunch
right
of
now,
people.
I think I played Smash a couple times and that was it. But
And
like,
you fail to realize you're and if you're trying to bring that question up because of 2XKL only coming out with 10 characters,
No, I'm just.
you do know. No, but listen.
It's a
You
thought.
do know there's over hundreds of champions in League of Legends, right?
You know what I kind of want to
yeah.
say?
And you
what I
do
kinda
know
wanna
they're
say?
all gonna be stuffed into that game. You do know that, right?
How do you balance 100 person? It's impossible, right? Right?
No. Here's the thing. To bring back to Smash Brothers, it has over 50 characters, right?
Yeah.
Does literally anyone play all of them?
I can't think that they could
You know
be.
what? Unless you're in prison and you got that much time, I don't think you can play all the characters.
I mean, there's no way you could, right?
Yeah, I don't think anybody has that much time in, you know, throughout their life.
Hence why I'm saying like sometimes having a lot more characters isn't worth
Is
it.
bad. Sometimes having a lot of characters is bad.
Because that's
As
over.
a matter of fact, here's a prime example: Smash Brothers Melee. Name 20 characters that are played in a tournament.
I mean, that's for any game,
You
though,
can't.
right?
No.
That's weird.
You know
You
what was
can't.
the main? You know what was the main character
There's
used?
only like 8 or 9 characters in the entire game is ever used in tournament.
No, Danny, I got this. Who was the main character used in the tournament? Fox, Jigglypuff,
Falco,
Pikachu,
Jigglypuff, Pikachu.
Yeah, Falcon. Yeah, Pikachu,
Link,
Jigglypuff. Yeah. Same
I'm
characters
sure.
over and over again.
Ness,
Gandalf.
maybe. No, Ganondorf wasn't even tournament viable.
So, Smash Ultimate, right? Which I think is a different case because this might be the last Smash game ever made. Sakurai said he's not doing it again. That's what he said, at least.
He's never making a Smash again.
That's
which-
what he
I
said.
love that combo that I
Yep,
did, Danny. I
that's-
love that
that's it for
combo I
Smash.
did.
So Smash Ultimate was quite literally ultimate. It ended with 89 playable fighters, 74 on the base roster, 11 DLC. That's crazy. We might not ever see that again. you-
Sakurai is working on something. I forget what.
He says we're going to another game, but he said he did. I don't think it's a fighter though. But the can you balance a 89 character game? Like something's gonna slip through the cracks, right?
No, because think of how many characters you would have to buff and nerf and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
too much.
It's too much. Too much. I say around 40 characters is 50 characters is right.
I
there.
feel like the perfect roster was MKX, as in like terms of amount of characters.
Yeah, 2 seasons. MKX had a, and they had like the.
I
new-
think 11 had the perfect account amount.
what was the difference in how many characters? Let me see. How
There's
many
more in
characters
MK11 than
did
there was in X.
MK11, MKX, and MK9 have? MK9 had 27 characters on the base roster, 4 DLC, leaving it at 31 characters. MKX had 24 on the base, 8 DLC, leaving it as 32. Remember, Goro was the like pre-order bonus or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
And MK11, which is a game that I feel like is unfinished. It had like 2 more seasons left in it, but that's another story. Had 25 playable characters and ended with 37.
That's why I say I think they had the best roster.